Let's meet and get to know the new head coach for your Austin Spurs.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs on Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. I'm glad to have y'all back. TGIF, everybody. Hope y'all are ready for a great long weekend, 3-day weekend coming up. Enjoy it. I know I will. I know y'all will. Look, the offseason is still rolling on, so enjoy it while you can before it gets all crazy and hectic with Spurs games every other day, road trips and whatnot. But hey, we'll get you through it right here on Locked On Spurs. As always, we thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen. You should be your only listen for all things silver and black. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts, such as YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Ken's 5 Plus app. The list goes on and on. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and they'll get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. All you got to do is go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. What are we talking about today? Well, we're having a big guest. We have the newest head coach of your Austin Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs G League affiliate, Scott King. He is coming up next. He joined us right here, and he's pretty much giving us a good introduction. His path to becoming a head coach to the Austin Spurs. What was it like working with the Pistons? What was it like working with Knicks and Coach Tibbs? What's his favorite Batman movie? I had to ask him some sort of nerd question, but he's all about it. It's a really good interview. You're all going to enjoy it. It's coming up next. He also talks about just being with the Spurs family and how just the Spurs were on his radar. He was fully aware about the Spurs. So we drew a connection. It was kind of like 3 degrees of separation featuring the new head coach, Scott King, how he's coming to San Antonio. Again, it's a fascinating interview. That's coming up next. Just a quick Spurs news. If you're betting and you love to bet, well, Vegas odds have predicted what the odds are for Victor Wembanyama to record a quadruple double next season. They're at plus 1,500. My opinion, that's kind of high considering he flirted with the quad dub several occasions last year. He did have two triple doubles, and in the second one, I believe against Toronto, he came close to a quad dub. But hey, if he does it, he'll join Robinson, Alvin Robertson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Nate Thurman to accomplish the rare NBA feat. I'm gonna take the over. I think he gets it. I think he gets one. I think he flirts with 2 possibly. But I think he'll get the 10-10-10-10 route, kind of like what David did. So we'll see. Spurs gonna have shooters on them to get those assists up. They're gonna triple team him, quad team him, whatever, to slow him down. All right, there's your quick Spurs news. When we get back, let's go ahead and bring in our guest. He is the head coach of your Austin Spurs, Scott King. He's right here on Locked On Spurs. But first, I want to talk to you about FanDuel. Look, you love FanDuel. I love FanDuel. You like sports continuing all season long, all year long. Why not have fun with it with FanDuel? Simply just dream up a bet, and next thing you know, you'll be having some fun with all those bets and more with FanDuel. So right now, you've heard of us talk about FanDuel so often here on Locked On Spurs. Why? Well, it's America's #1 sports book. They have a little something for everyone. Right now, through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5. Yeah, you heard that right, $5, and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. That sounds like a great deal. Then, with YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday football afternoon game, even out of market. All you got to do is have a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel at any time. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon today to download America's #1 sportsbook.
A Jedi uses the Force. To subscribe to Locked On Spurs, pass on what you have learned.
Let's go ahead and welcome our guest, the newest head coach of your Austin Spurs, Mr. Scott King. Coach, welcome to the Spurs family and welcome to Locked On Spurs.
Jeff, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Oh, well, we're all excited you're here and taking over that Austin Spurs head coaching position. By the way, I am a little bit jealous. I see you there hanging out in New York City. My adopted home. Was there for about 18, 19 years. Lived out in Queens. Miss it so much. maybe I don't miss the winters because sometimes getting caught in blizzards is not fun, having to cut across through buildings and escape it. So that was a rookie mistake on my end. A Texan going to New York City, experience the first winter, and then get stuck in a blizzard, coach. I mean, welcome to New York. That was my welcome to New York City moment.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little easier on this end going from New York to Austin. I'm going to enjoy not having to shovel out my car, before practice every day.
I did not have a car in New York for all those years I was there. So thankful I never had to deal with that. But everybody, again, he is the newest head coach of your Austin Spurs. And he comes in with a pretty solid resume. He started his coaching career in 2017 as a video intern with the Indiana Mad Ants of the G League. I was affiliated with the Indiana Pacers. Then he worked as a video intern with the Pistons. Go on, then he gets hired, the assistant director of player development. I mean, you know what, Scott? Maybe you're not qualified. I'm just kidding, Austin. But hey, when you got the news, what was your reaction?
Very blessed. Very blessed. Growing up in New Hampshire doesn't seem like a place that would breed some Spurs fans. But we had Matt Bonner to kind of look up to as kids, being the only NBA player from New Hampshire at the time. So I kind of had a early admiration for the Spurs organization in general. And then, through my coaching journey, just getting an opportunity to work for a world-class organization, Hall of Fame coach, and some really great people. I'm very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you get the reaction. Obviously, you say you're blessed and everything, but, your experience that we just went over right now, how do you think that's going to prepare you to take over the head coaching spot in Austin?
Yeah, I think, coaching in general, it's a lifelong journey of teaching, learning, growing. So this is just, that next chapter in that for me. I've been very blessed my whole life to learn, play for, work for a lot of really great coaches. And, you just, you take in information and you see the way they do things, and you kind of form your identity as a coach, as a teacher, as a person. And, I just think this is such a great next step for me to keep adding to that.
Yeah. Look, I'm pretty sure you had your long nights, sleepless nights, being a video coordinator, being an assistant coach with the Knicks and everything. But, are you prepared for the role of a head coach? We know you can do it. We know you got the chops for it. We just ran down your resume. But when you look at the leap, from now you're running the whole thing, does that kind of make you think like, whoa, okay, here we go. I got to get myself mentally ready. How do you prepare yourself mentally? Because you got the goods when it comes to the X's and O's, but to take that big leap though, it's not daunting for you. I mean, how do you handle that mentally?
No, I think for me, I think confidence comes from your preparation. So just the fact that, there's a lot of things, the head coaching job that will entail that I haven't done because I haven't been in that position. But I know one thing that they'll always do. I'll put my all into each day, strive for daily improvement. And I know whatever I have to figure out, I'll get to it. And, this is kind of the journey. You never do anything until you do it. So, if you never take that leap of faith, or you don't lean into fear of, a new environment, a new position, you're not really going to get anything done in life. So I'm really looking forward to the challenge, figuring out, what type of head coach I'll be. At the end of the day, it comes down to the person. It comes down to teaching. It comes down to building relationships with people, which I really enjoy, coaching in general. So I'm excited for that.
You're working with the Mad Ants, the Pacers, and then you go on to the Pistons and then the Knicks. When you look back at that segment of your career, what do you think you're going to be taking in the most to the head coaching job with Austin?
Yeah, so it's funny. This came up during the interview process, and as you kind of prepare to put things on paper, what you do as a head coach, I kind of took a step back and looked at everything that I had, my thoughts, and you really take it from so many different places. from teammates you played with, from coaches that I played for in high school and college,
Mm-hmm.
from Tom Thibodeau, from Dwayne Casey, from Steve Ganzi, the coaches that I've worked for
Mm-hmm.
in the pro level. It's you learn from everybody, and then you put your own spin on it. So, I have a lot of values that have been instilled in me as a player
Mm-hmm.
and as a coach that I'll kind of, it's kind of like a melting pot of all my experiences.
You mentioned you played, obviously the game. Now you're coaching the game. Was coaching ever in the radar, or was it, I'm going to be a player and make it to the pros, latch onto an NBA team, or work my way up, G League, Euro? Why? How do you think your path turned from player to coach, or was it something that you just wanted to do since you've been in your playing days and now coaching?
Yeah. So as a player, that was my only focus. I had a goal of playing as long as I could, whatever that looked like. You shoot for, the ultimate goal, playing the NBA. And then as you get closer and closer, you quickly realize your skill level and everything else that, you might not get there. So when my career ended as a player after my last year in college, that's when I kind of took some time to reflect on what I wanted to do. And, eventually it led back to basketball, and I just wanted to be in basketball in any capacity. Like, I didn't have a long-term goal, down the line. I needed to be coached by this or this age or anything like that. I just wanted to be involved in the game. I wanted to help people. And it's kind of taken me to where I am now.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a journey. You're from playing, coaching, and working with Tibbs, and you mentioned Casey. That's a lot. That's so much in a short period of time, and it's a testament to you. Like you mentioned, the confidence. Not losing sight of the goal, that becoming a coach. How huge of a stepping stone is this for you to the ultimate goal, perhaps of maybe, you tell me if I'm wrong, but maybe branching off to college coaching or maybe NBA coaching, assistant staff. How big of a stepping stone do you see this move to Austin?
I mean, it's a huge step in my personal and coaching development. This experience is going to make me a better person. It's going to make me a better coach. It's going to put me in situations that going to be uncomfortable, and I'm going to have to, I'm going to be challenged every day, but that's what you want out of, what you do every day for a living. If you're passionate about it and you care about the people you're with, I think that part's exciting. But in terms of, a long-term plan, a vision, I have really enjoyed, and I don't, everyone does things differently, but since I've been into basketball, I've really just focused and enjoyed on the role that I'm currently doing. And how can I just get better every day as a coach and as a person? And so far that's worked out. And I don't like to put, timelines or certain expectations, besides how can I become a better coach today? And that's going to be my main focus. And how can I help the team? How can I help my staff, get better?
Were there any coaching idols that you looked up to? This is the part you say Popovich. But anyway, did you say, moving up, you're saying, is it Tibb? Well, maybe it was Pop. Or maybe it was Larry Brown. Who were your coaching idols?
Yeah, so I've been really lucky within these last couple of years to be able to work for a couple of them. Dating back to 8th, 9th grade is when Matt would come back to New Hampshire from San Antonio, and we would just hear these stories of Pop and those teams, and that's where I kind of had that admiration for Spurs in general, but also for Coach Pop. And then being from New England, watching Tom Thibodeau come up through the ranks through college to the pros to working to be where he is now as one of the best coaches in the league, and will be a Hall of Fame coach. Being able to watch that and then be able to work for him has been unbelievably lucky. But I've also had a really great experience even growing up. I've worked for and played for so many great coaches at every level. Back to my high school coach, middle school coach, AAU. I mean, there's so many great coaches I've learned so much from. So I have a lot. There's a long list. I know, so I'm not going to name every single coach, but I've been blessed in that sense to learn from some really, really great people.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Coach Tibbs, working with him, and then you also mentioned Matt Bonner. That it's almost like destiny. Like you were bound to come to San Antonio. You have the Matt Bonner. You're looking up to him. Then you work with Coach Tibbs, who was an assistant coach, and now you're in Austin. Let's just face it. You were a closet Spurs fan. I knew you. I knew it. Now here we are. You made things. The universe smiled on you. You're now part of the Spurs family. But hey, you go from Tibbs to Popovich, or at least, that coaching staff and everything. Have you spoken to Coach Pop? Have you had words with him? Maybe has he welcomed you to the family or that's on the horizon?
Yeah, of course. Everyone in San Antonio has been super welcoming. I've had conversations with everybody at this point, and the amount of great people there are there, from RC all the way down, has been really impressive and very. It's been really nice to spend some time with everybody there. So yeah, it's been very welcoming, a lot of excitement, and I'm just trying to learn as much as I can from all those guys.
Yeah. This is probably cliche, what do you think your coaching style will be? How is your coaching style? What do you think you're going to do with Austin when you approach the guys and say, okay, let's get to work? How would that style be?
Yeah. So number one, you've got to build that relationship with each player. You have to understand them as a person before, you can coach them, right? You coach the person, you don't really coach the player. So without that relationship, and that's just spending time, that's putting in time and effort, really caring about each person there. And then from there, what do they want out of this experience? I'm here to help people accomplish, their whole dream, right? And playing at the highest level. So any way that I can help them accomplish that, I want to do. So that's going to be number one. And that's putting those guys in positions to succeed. So that's all going to be based on our group and guys we have on the floor, and obviously who we're playing against. And that's just my goal is to help them accomplish their goals, put them in positions to succeed on and off the floor.
It's people think of the G League, for a developmental stage for players, but it's actually also for coaches too. I mean, it's not just for players; it's for coaches that are rising in the ranks like yourself. You look at just a recent history, Matt Nielsen. He goes to Austin, and then he gets promoted to the Spurs coaching ranks. So San Antonio coaching ranks. I know Austin and San Antonio. I wish they were still the Toros. Then we can make a difference. But there's that, and you see other, Quinn Snyder. Again, former Austin Spurs coach. He goes off and does great things. So it's not just a springboard for players; it's also a springboard for coaches. And hopefully, you're on that springboard as well. Passion, drive, and patience. That is a winning formula for championships, and is also what keeps your ride or die alive. I'm talking about eBay Motors. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, they got it. Roof racks, yep. LED headlights, exhaust kits, and so much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay has you covered. That's eBay Motors. They'll definitely have you covered for all that and more. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, guess what? You're burning rubber. You're not going to be burning cash. With all the parts you need at the prices that you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. That's ebaymotors.com. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers.
Hello, Spurs fans. Joker here, and I listen to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia. And you better too.
Once again, we're talking with new Austin Spurs head coach. He is Mr. Scott Keem. He has taken over the reins in Austin. And by the way, make sure to go to Austin Spurs website, get some of that merch, get some of that stuff. Go support them at the Cedar Park Arena out in. Okay, Scott. Honestly, it's not. Maybe I don't even know it's not really in Austin. It's in a place called Cedar Park, just right outside Austin. But nevertheless, hopefully all Spurs fans can make a drive up there. or if you're in the Austin area, go check them out at Cedar Park Arena. Let me warn you ahead of time, Coach. Austin, they have Austin Spurs game. They have some wild theme nights. Okay, I'm about to tell you. You're gonna be like, no way they didn't. They had 1 year air freshener night. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Fans that showed up got air fresheners. And you know what, Scott? I was like, I gotta go. I don't know why. I just gotta go. So they say Austin is weird. I'm not kidding you. There's an alt jersey that the Austin Spurs bring out. It looks like a bull, and it's in Spanish as Austin Raros, which means, weirdos, for a best loose translation. So yeah, when they say keep Austin weird, yeah, they really implement that in promotional nights. One time I pitched to their Austin Spurs, I guess marketing person. I think maybe it was Lauren, the voice from above that's above us right now, that I wanted them to push for. I think it was a head coach night, where everybody just shows up with a big fat head of the coaches cut out and just be in there. And she was like, you know what, that actually could work. That could actually work. But so prepare yourself. When they say Austin is weird, they really buy into that with Austin Spurs theme nights. Maybe we'll have Coach King night. I hope so. That'd be fun.
I mean, a Jeff Garcia night would be pretty good.
I knew you were going to go there. Come on. But looking at the big picture, Coach, you're joining a Spurs family. From the titles they've won to, even with Austin, the championships they won and deep playoff runs and the player development. You see guys like Derek White, Lonnie Walker, Boban. Boban Marjanovic was an Austin Spur at one moment. Even recently, Trey Jones, he cut his chops there. Do you look at that type of player funneling to the big boy stage? Do you think that adds more pressure on you to help these guys reach their dreams?
Yeah, to be honest, that was one of the biggest reasons why I was so excited about this opportunity. They have such an amazing track record for developing everybody that comes through Austin. Like you said earlier, the staff, coaches, front office, players, they have, I would say, the best track record with that in all of the league. So that was something that really stood out to me and really kind of garnered some excitement on my end to really pursue this, because it's exciting. That's what you want. You want people that really care about Austin and the experience. And I just want to be able to add to that and continue to help people to grow.
There's also, let me give you some more little insight here, so you're in tune with the culture here. There's a rivalry between Austin and San Antonio, not on the court, off the court, with the best tacos. Okay, Austin proclaims himself as the best taco place in the little region there. San Antonio loves to rebuff that. So heads up now. If I were you, they ask you, somebody that brings up that question, just say no comment.
Well,
no comment.
Let's get you on the record then. What do you think?
Oh, San Antonio. I mean, go on. San Antonio does it, man. I mean, we got to do it right here in San Antonio.
Hey, we got some awesome fans on here, so be careful with that one. You might want to.
Yeah, I know. And then now everybody clicked off from Austin. See, that's what happens. See, that's why I should have said. That's why I should have said no comment.
Yep.
But nevertheless, Coach, you look at your next step. You already addressed it. It's huge for you personally and professionally. Now you're the main guy on that sideline there. And everything. You got training camp right around the corner. You're gonna have a packed schedule. You sound confident. You feel you're ready for the challenge. And I think that's going to leak into, in a good way, with the players. And, you look at recently, Austin, kind of had an up and down season record wise and everything, hasn't really been smooth sailing. But what do you think you will do to help change the course and put Austin back on track to having playoff appearances, deep playoff runs?
Yeah, I think it's just being held to the standard that Austin has over the last 20, 25 years, since they've been a team, early 2000s. So
yeah,
for me, it's keeping that standard. They built something incredible here, and it's my job to come in and just help that in any way and just keep that standard high. And it's looked at as the absolute elite of the elite with the G League, and with the whole organization as a whole. So
yeah,
for me, I'm just excited to try to add to that any way I can. bring some value.
Yeah. And you look at the G League; it's not considered kind of a slap on the hand anymore. It is vital now, for players.
Absolutely.
And even now, look at the drafts. There players getting drafted out of the G League, or even like the former club, the Ignite.
Mm-hmm.
Those developmental things from Scoot Henderson, to perhaps one of the bigger examples is Danny Green. Worked his way up. For Spurs history, Jonathan Simmons. He was a walk on. He was a walk on. Paid his $300 his fee and made it to the NBA. So it's really a huge springboard opportunity for everybody, from players to coaches. And I believe that you will, do your part and to make the Austin Spurs, a good team again. Not to say they're bad, but, to help them get them back on track to the top of the mountain. Coach, before I let you go, anything else you want to tell Spurs fans about yourself? Maybe, what you want to do in Austin, just anything you want them to know before you start your head coaching gig there.
Yeah, well, first off, I'm really excited to get to Austin, to come to meet the fans, to get into the community. It's a great storied franchise, so it means it's got a really great fan base, passionate basketball fans. So I'm first off excited to meet everybody. And for me, it's you're just going to get someone that is passionate about basketball, passionate about helping people, and will just do their all to put their best in each day, and try to leave this place a little better than it was when I found it.
Yeah, I was hoping the first thing you would say is get to meet me in person, but I'll let you slide on that one.
Well, no, that's going to be at the Jeff Garcia. Whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to show up to a game next season and be like, oh, who are you again? Like, oh, coach, we just then the next huddle, the next media. Wait, who are you? It'll be that running joke. Like, who are you? Coach, it's me. The guy with the freaking nerd background. How do you forget that? By the way, sorry for that nerd vomit behind me, Coach. Sorry for that. I'm a big nerd.
Oh, you're leaning into the Austin stuff. I like it. You got to be.
You see, you're gonna get me in trouble there. You're gonna get me in trouble. No, this is just part of the brand, because off to the side in San Antonio, whenever there's like Comic Cons or stuff like that, I usually get tapped to host them. So, nice. and plus too, I'm just a big nerd. I really, really am. You throw up Marvel movie or DC movie or anime, I'm like, all right, well, I'm in. I'm good. So, by the way, do you have any anime, comic book, superhero movies you like?
Probably more superhero.
Okay.
I've enjoyed the Dark Knights. Those ones.
Bravo.
Yeah, that's probably the one with Bane. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
All-time movie.
Yeah.
What about you?
I heard a rumor that you actually defeated Bane in real life. Like you totally wiped the floor with him. That he actually was so scared that he ran to Batman for help. Can you set the record straight, Coach? Did that happen?
I saw Bane in theaters. I don't know if people are believing that one.
I think you could take him. You could take him. No, you're good.
I appreciate the confidence.
You could take him. For me, I'm all over the map, man. You throw a DC movie up there, I'll watch it. You throw a Marvel movie, although they kind of been lately. But I'm right there. I think the Dark Knight series is tops. For me, it's the middle one with Heath Ledger as Joker. That's still that's the standard there for me. All right, everybody, this is turning quickly to Coach and Jeff nerdy now, so we better let him go before it gets worse. He is the newest head coach for your Austin Spurs, Mr. Scott King. Go to the Cedar Park Arena this season. Get your tickets. Go out there. Demand for Coach King night. Do what you got to do. Just get to the arena right now. I'm pretty sure once the tickets and the schedule and all that good stuff we'll announce, we'll post it over there at kens5.com and so much more. Coach, appreciate you. Good luck to you. I know you can do a bang-up job with the Austin Spurs, the team there. You have an open door. You want to come back to Austin Spurs? You want to come to Locked On Spurs? Go ahead. Just let Lauren know. She'll get a hold of me. She's the voice above our heads right now. She'll say, yeah, bring them back. So open door policy, Coach. You're always welcome to come back.
Appreciate that. Thanks for taking the time. It was great to meet you virtually, and I'll see you at a game soon.
Yeah. I'll be the one with the Coach King Big Head on the scene like this. Go Coach. I can't do that. I'll be sitting in the media room, so I couldn't do that. But I'll think about doing that. How's that, Coach? I'll think I'm doing that. All right, that's fair enough. Again, he is Coach King for your Austin Spurs. Make sure to follow the Austin Spurs on social media. You see it on your screen at Austin_Spurs for all the latest information on the team. So for Coach King, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.